Good evening, Maurice. How are you going, my friend?
Very good. Thank you.
Good. That is good.
And you?
I am very well myself now. Especially, I've been looking forward to having this conversation. I've been listening a lot to your music the last couple of days to get in the mood. It's I suppose like the backdrop setting we have here is very good. Like it's the dark, gloomy feeling to the music here, and the light is beautiful.
And the light. This is where we're in this room. Is a lot of songs come out.
That is fantastic. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about where we are at the moment and what you've been doing today.
We're at my guitarist, long-time friend, guitarist, Peter Gordon's house. And it's got in this room is a wicked atmosphere of creative energy whenever you're in here, in the gloom and the light.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. Like it's a really good backdrop, really good setting there.
It's got a piano, guitars, synthesizers, drum kit.
Wow! So it's like a fully equipped studio.
Studio, a room, bedroom.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, bedroom, spare room, lounge.
Good. But is that where you're writing or recording your songs?
Writing, yeah.
Okay. Yep.
There's 5 of us get in here and sometimes more. Get in here and write and rehearse and drink. And
nice. That's a part of it.
Yeah, walk out and go home happy.
Fantastic. But look, I'm super keen to hear a bit more about your band. I got introduced to you by our mutual friend Chris Symes, who's been doing a lot of housekeeping on sort of getting the show out there.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's a really good guy. And so he put me on to you and your music. I think it was a couple of weeks ago, or something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm really cool to sort of hear a bit more about, how you guys started, how you're writing the music, and all that. But maybe if you could sort of take us back to the beginning, like how did this intensive care band, start?
Well, it's been, without, I don't know what the word is, but it's been my writing and people I meet. And I met Peter a long, long time ago in my previous band, and I didn't know he was a guitar player, and we clicked from the first time we met. And when the other band members left to do their music in the early days, Pete was perfect to play with. We clicked always. I would have played music with Pete years before other musicians. If I knew, he never told me that he was a guitar player, or he's just come to the gigs and he's played with us for years. He's my right hand man. And Stefan, my bass player, he was one of the first people that I played music with when I was younger, a lot younger. And he came back from England, but he was interested in some music that was being played at the BBC when he was working there. And when he came back to Australia, he was looking for a band to play, and it all fell into place. And Steph was a guitarist, but he plays bass now, and he's a phenomenal bass player. It's sort of the spine of the music's the bass, with the drums, And Miles, I met Miles through Peter, and I used to go and see Miles, but I never knew him, 30 years ago when he was in bands. And Dave, I met through a friend, keyboard player, just met through a friend. And it's the best lineup of music I've had and people to play with in this room. We have something special, magic in here for some reason. And other people that come into this room love the vibe or something too. Yeah, anyway.
That's awesome. So how long ago was this? Like, how many years have you guys been playing together?
Oh, me and Pete. Pete's here. How many years, Pete? Oh, maybe 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Or something like that, yeah. Yeah, we've been just both on the musical path of trying to improve and write songs and play together, and Pete plays with people, teaches music, like Steph and Mile, all just music, and we've been playing me and Pete, and writing songs for a while now.
But it's obviously like, so you released the album that's out on Apple and Spotify and all that. So that was released earlier this year.
Yeah, actually, I think late last year. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But it's sleeper. Is that the word? It's a sleeper. So it's like a year later we're getting a bit of interest, a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So, but those songs, are they the sort of like the culmination of these many years you were talking about, or how did this album form or was conceived?
It's just songs that I write, and it's just part of what did I say? It's part of it's songs that I've written that fitted at the time when we were playing in the band, the sound and everything that we were playing. They were the songs that we had, and they were the best ones to record. That's what we rehearsed as a band and played live. Not all the songs, but they were the songs that fitted. Yeah, we had 11 songs and we managed to do 10.
Yeah, okay, yep.
But, I've got plenty of songs. Mm.
In regards to, because obviously, like we started out by playing Circle Song as the intro. So that's, it looks like that's recorded from a live gig somewhere.
Yeah, the video is, it's edited from, what it was, we had a film crew and a show that wanted to film us. And that wasn't the song that we wanted recorded, but when we were doing it live, the sound man cut us off and said, this is your last song. And I was cursing him, and we had to they'd filmed the Circle Song as a warm-up for the next song, but that's all they were allowed to record us. They were going to unplug the PA, turn us off, the sound man.
Oh, really?
So that footage is from the show, which wasn't the song that we were going to initially do.
That sounds a bit strange, man. How we got running out of time or something? That's obviously a bit rude.
Yeah, it was very rude. Just totally pissed off. Yeah, totally pissed off. But that's all that was done, so that's what we had to use. The sound man wanted to go home. End of show, Who are you guys? Turn off the shit show. It's like,
whereabouts was this here in Perth? I mean, don't have to name drop anyone, but that's.
And actually a friend and a good supporter of the band, who's a venue owner. He wasn't there at the time, but if he knew that happened, he would have been extremely pissed off with the sound guy.
Yeah.
He wanted to go home. He was paid till 5 to 12, and that was it. Not a minute after.
Yeah, that's not.
Even though there was pretty professional film crew there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway.
But so about the band. So what sort of what sort of ambitions have you guys got? Like where are you taking this? Because obviously, like the album is still fairly fresh. If you're saying it sort of came out, sort of, if you recorded this at the end of last year and it's been out on a couple of streaming services for a while now and got a video out. What's sort of the plan sort of moving forward?
We'd really like, we're recording an EP now, but we'd really like to push, this our music, because I don't think we really fit in with what's going on in Perth, or we don't have a big following. We'd really like to go, to Europe, or people. We've had I've sold a few CDs in the day to Greece and Spain. I'd just like to, we'd like to record and play to somewhere else besides here. We're ignored in Perth. So, what we'd like to do is record, and we've got more material, put out to play. If someone says, oh, we'd like to hear your music, what you do, here's some more. This is what we're creating at the moment. And then we can follow that up with playing, That's what intention is, to put albums out or recordings out and then try and tour when all this COVID shit's over. No, it's just the bands that I love. Australian bands have always had to go overseas to play to people that understand, and bands like the Triffids, and the Scientists, and bands like that, B Suburban. The Australian bands that I really like, and they're more known and respected, and easier to find gigs playing elsewhere.
Yeah,
and that's how I want to see it.
Well, it's also one of those things, like being in Perth from a from a gigging perspective is probably the worst city in the world because they're so far to go if you want to play somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you're spot on. Like, and if you took your music overseas, especially to Europe, like Europe is hands down the best place because you got so many countries, so many cultures, and so many venues.
And I think the appeal is, for us, the appeal is there. I think more so than, we're not up with the trend of what's happening in Australian music, sort of. What the trend is with the bands, the trendy bands, or whatever,
But that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. It's all about sort of being
appreciated.
Yeah. And again, like it's all about being genuine, like writing music that's important to you, and music that sort of resembles, sort of the feeling and the message that you want to portray when you're on stage. And again, when you're out in Perth, let's also not forget, like we only have about just under 2 million people. Like you've got smaller cities in Europe that has more people than that. And you have this, as you mentioned yourself, like there's such a much broader audience. Over there as well. But look, like you said something before, I'm a bit curious to hear more about. You mentioned sort of Greece and Spain, and you did some connections there. How did that come about?
My old band was my old band got some recordings put out in Spain and Greece, and it just seemed like there was some appeal there through, I'm not sure, I think radio play or something like that. And a long time ago, that band was on John Peel's BBC Peel Sessions playlist. And when I sent the recording off to John Peel, because I knew he liked a couple of these Perth bands that were my big influences, I started getting email inquiries about the band from Greece and Spain, from BBC. And that's how I think the Greece connection, and my last couple of recordings prior to this one had been reviewed in a couple of blogs and music review places in Greece and Spain. And it was interesting with the Greece interpretation of my lyrics or singing. It was just not strange. It was interesting to read the interpretation of words and song titles being Greece.
Could imagine, man.
Yeah.
So have you kept them have you kept feeding them with some of the new stuff as well?
A little bit, yeah. I have sold actual CDs themselves to a few people in Greece. Not lots, but just some interest,
Yeah, awesome.
Any interest is good.
So have you, with the old band, have you ever been over there before and did some shows or some promo over there?
No. The old, when we got the airplay, the old band had sort of broken up, and they became their own. The members started writing their own music and playing their own music.
Right.
So there was we're getting all this brilliant airplay on BBC One, but there was no band anymore.
How long ago is this?
This is 2000, so it's a long time ago.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But I've been writing ever since and playing. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's it's a couple of moons ago.
Yeah, couple of moons ago.
That would have been before all this Facebook and YouTube and all this social media stuff. Wow.
Yeah. It was just there's
impressive.
Emails, I think that's how you.
Definitely still had emails back then, but not all this social media bullshit and all that.
And nothing like this now.
Yeah. But look, as long as you sort of can still sort of maintain the connection, then I suppose the delivery these days would be so much easier, because again, you can literally just flick them a link and bang, here it goes, a new song, a new video, and they can just distribute that.
Yeah, I've been a bit slack with the digital thing in general.
Yeah, it's not easy, man.
No, it's not easy. I don't know. I know you got to do all that, but I just like writing and trying to create music. And it seems like you've got to know the whole social media, digital. You've got to know that as well.
Yeah,
which can be really distracting from actually. You've got the first process of trying to write and create. In your time that you have, and you can spend hours. Computers just eat up your time, and you could spend hours answering emails, sending out social things. That's why it's good with someone like Chris.
Absolutely.
He's great for that. Where hopefully that's just going to allow me to write and play, and us, all the band, do what we like, what we're best at is creating all that, so we can maybe give that to somebody for them to have something or a product to
create a product. Exactly.
Create a product.
Yep.
Where I like the process of just being the creator of it, but not on that side,
But that's also what makes it so difficult, I suppose you could say. And it's difficult, and at the same time, it's probably even a lot easier than it was 20 years ago, because you have so many more shop fronts, so many more shop windows where you can put your product out. But it's how to utilize them properly, as you said, is extremely time consuming and can be very overwhelming.
Because I think there's a lot of not dead ends, but you can spend hours chasing down this route of some interest or whatever.
Yep.
But you're going down the wrong route, and that can be hours consumed. And then
absolutely.
Yep. So to find where your medium is, that's the key to it, I think. You got to find where it is,
And again, also like in many ways, also you have to find a way to sort of like almost package up your music to then put it up, you know what I mean? Like to put something on, for instance, you got your Instagram, which is small videos and images. And then you have your YouTube, who's predominantly just video clips, and you got your Facebook, which is a little bit of everything. But what do you put on which platform and when and why and all that stuff? It can be daunting for sure.
It's new territory, I think.
It is, yeah.
It's new it's good in one way. And, I think if you're writing your music and doing your music and creating, it could be a major distraction. But to have that marketed or whatever's a great thing, if someone can do that for you.
Yeah, and the really cool thing about it, sort of in these times here where you actually can't fly to Greece and Spain and Europe and play gigs, or like you can't even pretty much fly interstate either. But that actually. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But it does give you this probably quite unique opportunity to then actually having to look online. You know what I mean? Because that is the only option really to try and pick up. It is absolutely. Yeah. Because I think if you haven't had all these lockdowns and isolations and stuff, then people would have probably gone on and kept sort of doing the same stuff in the same trenches as they did same time last year. You know what I mean? Yeah. But right now, it gives you this very unique opportunity to try and sort of reshape or recalibrate the existing format to then try, and especially if the plan is to go overseas, to then try and plan for that now.
Yeah. Gotcha.
The only thing is, of course, about COVID. Never know how long it's gonna take. There's no point sort of planning for putting all the effort into trying to plan for next year just to find out that there's still going to be restrictions and all that.
I think that might happen.
I think so too. I think so too. We are so incredibly fortunate to be where we are at the moment. It's a very, very unique spot, sort of compared to everywhere else.
That's true. The end of the earth.
Kind of, yeah. Like again, the most isolated city in the world. Whoever thought that was going to be, the safest place to be these days.
Dalesville isn't so bad after all.
Nah, that's it. I had a chat to a guy from Canada earlier. I did another stream this morning, and they're sort of having a second wave now, so they're going back into isolation, have to wear face masks and all that crap. So they haven't had a jam for 6 months. Could you imagine that?
Yeah, that's no good. Yeah.
That is no good. Imagine not having to be able to catch up with your bandmates, in your little creative room here, to be able to catch up, write some music for 6 months.
Yeah, it wouldn't be any good. In one way, though, I guess if you're a singer-songwriter, it might be all right. You can write some stuff, I guess. But as a band, it wouldn't be too good.
It is what it is. That's it. There's just nothing you can do about it. You just gotta roll with the punches and keep moving forward.
Do what you gotta do.
That's it. So, coming back to your music, you mentioned before that you said you didn't really sort of fit in. You didn't feel like you sort of fitted into the Perth music scene and stuff. What sort of audience, or what sort of where could you sort of see you and the band and the album sort of fitting in if you were to sort of broaden the horizon a bit?
As in
outside Perth, like where could you sort of see a good market for you guys to go over and play or sell your product?
I guess wherever the interest is. Yeah, that's a tricky question, I think again it goes back to COVID. It's changed it all. It's but I've always pictured myself, singing eyes closed in front of a European audience. I've always pictured that, and maybe that's what I'm partly chasing. I guess you've got to close your eyes and picture that when you're writing, picture that who you're pitching it to.
So when you say European audience, there's obviously a lot of different European audiences available. And the main reason why I'm asking is because it's actually or can be quite important to identify who your receivers are. Because that makes it a lot easier, especially with all this online stuff. It makes it a lot easier to be able to target those people. So there's another sort of side question to that is if to find the perfect audience, it's great to find out what that perfect audience look like? What other music would they listen to? Like what bands sort of similar to the genre that you're playing, interests of the songs that you're playing, or your songs you're writing about, makes it a lot easier to actually land your songs and your videos in front of those people when Chris or whoever else will be helping you market them, if you know what I mean.
The audience, I don't. Well, you know, you can think it wouldn't be the Andre Rui or whatever it is audience. That's for sure. Is that his name? It wouldn't be that.
Yeah.
I can see it's not go fast punk, blah blah. Mature audience, you know. It always seems people have said this. The music that I do as a musician or a songwriter, whatever this. I guess people that the market is the people that appreciate mature music that's not trendy. And wherever that market is, I'm not sure, but I've always pictured a European thing or, you know, the Greece, Spain thing. I've always pictured that. Because the bands, as I said, the bands I like have played Europe, and, you know, the Perth bands that I like have always gone and played there. Yeah, and that's where their market is, not. And the bands that I like, that's where they've gone and played. You know, and I think, well, if we fit in to that style of music, that's where we play and fit in as well. I've heard that from other people, you know. Like, if you play in Europe, blah blah blah, you know.
So how do we make that happen? So how do you realize that dream and go over there? And so disregard the COVID right now. So obviously, so say we're going to spend not necessarily we, but say we're going to try and plan for you to go and do some gigs eventually. Then again, what sort of preparations or sort of thoughts have you got there? Like, again, I said, the reason why I'm asking these questions is to sort of try and sort of shift the focus and saying, okay, if we are going to go and play to a European audience, you need to find out right now, when you are in Perth, and you've got to find out who will become listened to. You mentioned a mature audience. I think you're right. I think you're right. It's clearly not teenage girls. For sure. So if we sort of narrow that down there, and then again you can say, look, I think you might be right. It might be more relevant to maybe some southern European countries. I could sort of picture that as well. So, sort of listening to the music, but again, identify what other sort of bands, and you even mention sort of bands that you like yourself that have been over there and had success. You can try and analyze what they have done. Like, what was the reason why they went over there? What was the reason why they were successful? Why did they get any interest to begin with? And then you can try and sort of analyze that and compare that to your situation. Because obviously getting to Europe is easy, you know, by the time everything is available. It's just buying a couple of bloody tickets and bang, you're over there the next day. But setting up the gigs and having the purpose of going there, that's the challenge, and that's the exciting challenge.
Yeah, that's always it. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's to find a reputable promoter as well
that helps for sure. Yep.
Book you the right venues, and do the right thing by you. I think that's part of it as well.
So probably a good start. Obviously, not knowing the entire backstory about your Greece and Spain contacts, but what I could probably see could be quite interesting and probably quite rewarding would be to go back to some of the people that you know that actually like your music over there, and go back and say if they know anyone in the industry, small or big, that could, you know, if they could just give you a contact details, and then you and Chris or anyone else in your band who might be sort of interested in taking part in this process of developing the idea of going to Europe. Try and reach over to some of the people over there that you can get some of your fans on the ground to introduce you to, if you know what I mean.
I have done that.
Okay.
And with positive, response. Yes, we can, you can come over and play, just skeletal, talk, in regard touring.
Yep.
But I always wanted to have something decent to promote, you know, a product or image or what we were talking about before doing that. More so than, you know, going over and playing somewhere else and have nothing to back you up. I think that's what you need. And this time I feel I've got a good product that will have appeal, that we could then play and have something to sell at venues or, you know, some sort of income of some sort.
That's absolutely.
Refund for playing.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
But at these times now, it's different.
Now we're talking, you know, actually making some money, you know what I mean? And you
of course.
Yeah, you're onto it. Yeah, you need a product, because otherwise, again, it's going to be a very expensive exercise, you know, just flying over there and playing a couple of gigs. But yeah, like your actual product. So again, like you got a great album, like, so you got, like, the album sounds good. It's got a really good feel and really good vibe to it. You're right. You're right. Like it doesn't, it's not very sort of commercial, but in that market where it sits, like, again, it's really, it's a genuine, authentic product. So again, when you then take that over there, then like, think about other ideas to make money, you know, like like merchandise is an obvious one. You know, if you have people that come to gig, if they do like it, they might pick up a CD. They're probably also going to pick up, you know, some sort of T-shirt or anything or anything else that you could think of.
Of course.
But the main thing again would probably be, again, as you mentioned as well, go find a good promoter, find someone on the ground to be able to connect some dots, and then just roll with it from there. And the best ambassadors you have is your fans over there.
Yeah, of course. We need to build that base. And I guess but it is weird times at the moment.
But it's great times. It's perfect times. It's perfect times. It's like, look, the timing has never been better, to be honest, because
the time is now.
Yeah, it is. And look, and the reason why the time is now is because anywhere else in the world except for Perth, most people are sitting at home. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like everybody, especially in the music industry, because they cannot go out and play.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of other, like, office people and, you know, essential workers, and, you know, everywhere in the world are still, or most places in the world are still working to a certain degree.
Yeah, of course, at home.
Yeah, but if you're an actor or if you're a musician or if you're any way related to the entertainment industry, you are in some serious trouble at the moment.
Of course, I'd hate to mortgage my house on, you know.
Yeah. So again, like now is the time. Now is the time. Spend the next 6 months just really strategizing to how to take over Europe. You know what I mean? To like to take it over, man. Yeah. Go to Greece, eat some. Yeah. That's the best food in the world, man. Have you been to Greece at all?
No, I haven't been to Europe. I've only been to Asia and America.
Oh man, like Greece is beautiful. Well, I went there for my honeymoon with my wife. Yeah, Eos and Santorini and stuff. Like, it's just the nicest people, beautiful culture, man, and the food is sensational, man. Yeah. So imagine, like, man, if you could go over there, just play a shitload of gigs and just go on a big holiday. You know, see Europe and play gigs. You know what I mean?
That'd be nice.
Yeah. And then again, man, it is so achievable. So achievable. You just got to plan and visualize it, as you were saying already. That's probably more important than anything else. You have to see yourself doing it.
I just really want to have we're recording a couple of new songs now.
Yep.
And that'd be great to have some more backup of another new product as well.
Absolutely.
Because it seems that you need to have product continual now. It's not like, seems like no albums anymore.
It's
like 1 or 2 songs and feed that out a little bit and then another couple of songs, and that's what it seems to be.
It's a tricky one, and it's such a fun conversation to have with bands as well, because everybody has their own opinion on what's right and what's wrong in this climate. I reckon you're on the ball though. You've got the album out, and I think personally, that is the most important thing. I think you have an album, then whatever you do next, whether it's a couple of singles or an EPs, doesn't matter too much, because if people who go into any of your new songs, then they can go back and they got a fucking full album. You know what I mean? Like bang, like you have something substantial to go back and listen to. So whatever, like definitely, as you're saying, definitely keep the momentum rolling. So if you're recording new songs, that's great. It's just about now how to package them, into the different shop fronts we were talking about before.
Yeah, gotcha.
So again, get some really good, like some good visuals. So videos are important. Some cool band photos or some, whatever sort of shots that you can put up to back up the songs and stuff. But I don't think it's too important whether you do singles or whether you do an EP or something like that, as long as you can back it up with more than just releasing an EP. Like again, like I said, you need the videos and the other content.
Yeah, of course.
But all of that again, would be great to have something to release for maybe early next year or mid next year. So you can use that as a push when you are promoting stuff in Europe.
Yeah.
So you got some new stuff out.
That's what I thought when things change, because the album's been out a little while.
Yep.
And we record some new product, and things change. Then hopefully that can all go together.
Yeah.
Airplane, the flights again, and being able to do something, and then you go, wham, here's a new thing. A new product.
So where you planning to record the songs? Have you got?
We've started.
Oh, okay, cool.
2 Saturdays back at Rada Studios in Perth.
Yep.
Yeah, really good studio, really good sound, like professional.
Yeah, good.
Properly recorded.
Is that where you recorded the last album as well?
No, that's where I got it mixed.
Okay.
The last recording. Yeah, that recording took a while, and that was at another guy's place.
Yeah.
But they mixed the album at Rada.
Yep.
Yeah.
So how many songs are you ramping up now?
On the next recording?
Yep.
You talking about or in general? On the next
Could
recording.
be both. Just bang them up.
There's plenty there. 2 new songs and maybe 2 old songs live or something put on it. I think live on that if we do an EP. But 2 new songs.
Yeah, cool.
One, it's like orchestrated. Well, hopefully back and sing a thing and all that.
Yep.
And the other one's sort of heavy, dirty. I don't know what it is. Dirty, heavy, blah, blah, grunge.
Nice. Fantastic.
2 different songs. Yeah.
So what's the sort of idea like behind releasing them? Like, have you got a plan about releasing them, or are you planning just recording them and then you have something you can then utilize to do something with next year? Or have you got a plan already?
Yeah. I haven't got a plan because with them, try not to think. Do think further ahead, but at the moment, really concentrating on getting the songs as best as we can.
Yep.
That's been the main. To me, it's always about getting a good product, the best that you can afford or the best that you can put out. So at the moment, for the last 2 or 3 months, it sounds like a long time working on 2 songs, but it's been like trying different backing vocals, seeing what works with a violin and playing with this girl on violin, or whether it's cello or where should we change it, making a production on production.
Yeah.
So it's no, I'm not into slapping music down and so you can tell your mates, we recorded that song and we did an album on a weekend.
Yeah.
it's meant on a $600 recorder or something. I'm not into that at all. So the plan really is to get
good product,
a completed product, as best as we can do, where it sounds professional and well recorded and well thought out music. Then from there you can. That's how I feel. I want to hear it. I'll be proud of it. And then I think you can talk to people or put it out and back up what you've done. Being able to back up what you've done when you're talking to people like you and me now.
Yep.
You know that you're not. It hasn't been slapped down and rock star too. We made an album on the weekend thing. You know that it's been thought out and properly done, produced.
Yep.
And then make a plan.
Yeah. It's always interesting for me to sort of hear how people operate, or sort of like the ideas and concepts that they have for the music, releasing it and promoting it and such. But yeah, like obviously having good product, like the songs for most people are the most important part, because that again is your babies. They are the stuff that you are sort of really precious about, and you want to make them sound as good as possible. But yeah, so sort of like coming back to sort of like the business or the ambition side of things. Like where would you like to take this eventually? Because we can come back to that later as well. Because you also have a record shop in Perth. But moving forward, so say where would you like to take this in, say, 3-5 years time?
Oh, that's a difficult question.
Any ambitions?
Look, I'd love just to be playing music full time. Take my music to wherever it wants to get. I don't know. I'm just in the now of trying to do a good recording and do this recording.
Yeah.
That's how. I have ambitions to go and play and spread music to whoever wants to hear my music and our music, and play all over Europe or play Indonesia. I think Bali's loving our music.
Fantastic.
Downloads and all that. It's the most anywhere of any place. I want to go wherever life takes us, and the music, and whether the guys can play or wherever, where an opportunity comes up, because you need other people to surround you to do your music.
Yeah.
Being in Perth, we haven't had that opportunity until recently, which I guess goes to the digital thing and the internet and all that. We haven't had that opportunity where we've had some other people besides the band members who want to be involved in promoting the band. We haven't had that opportunity before.
Okay.
Because I think where we live and who I am and all that sort of stuff, people don't want to be, they can't look outside the bubble.
Yeah, the Perth syndrome.
Yeah. So I've always concentrated and just always wanted to do my music.
Yep.
And then whoever likes it. And, if the opportunity ever came where we could go and play elsewhere, that's what I'd like to do. We all want to do that. Play to new horizons, wherever that may be.
But those opportunities can be greatly affected by your actions. So again, because
of course
nothing very, very rarely happens just out of the blue. So
exactly.
And because of this sort of digital age, as we were talking about earlier as well, with all the platforms we didn't have sort of 20 years ago, it's like opens up opportunities.
For sure.
So it is. But as we said before as well, it is also super challenging and overwhelming.
I think it's hard for the musician that wants to.
It is absolutely
the roots musician who just wants to. It sounds like a dream. Just wants to create music.
And
that's That's the hard
And everybody has the same issue. Everybody struggles with the social media side of thing, like the digital marketing of it. But again, if it is something, not just you, but bands in general, if it is something that you want to make your full-time occupation or make your main income, then it really needs to be dialed in. Everything.
Oh, that'd be wicked if it was, but I think that's a hard road, main income. From my friends and I, they have a great time and tour and play awesome gigs, around the world, and it's always like a break even thing. And to me, that's pretty cool. If you break even and you're not, touring's expensive. If you're not losing thousands of dollars, then I think that's a good reality.
What are they doing
of playing
when they're playing? Do you know? So when they're touring and they're breaking even, I'm just curious, like what are they doing when they're playing?
Well,
breaking even is great. Well, let me start out by saying that breaking even is great. But are they focusing on like ton of merch? Are they setting up, interviews at the different pages? Yep.
It's just the expense of accommodation and airfares, for 6 or 8 people. It's a lot of money you might only played at the raw audience, you might only played at 50 people, one night. So you really got to slog it out, I guess, for 10 days or something, doing 7 or 8 gigs and hope that you get one night of a really big audience or, well paid to break even. But again, it's merchandise and vinyl and CDs, the whole product behind you. And I think that's we were saying before about like we want to put out another EP. So, I've got my recordings from before, which I haven't done much with, except for one double LP or whatever, but I've got all that in the background. So if we did go on tour, it wouldn't be just this new recording that we would take with us.
Right. Okay.
We've got like Pete and myself doing duo live at a nightclub venue, well recorded, different songs to what we're playing now. We've got my old band's recordings, which I could get made into merchandise.
Yeah.
It's all me. I write all the songs, so it's all my music.
And with that,
and 5 other releases that we can take with us.
Would all that sort of fall under the same brand and sort of the same genre of music?
Well, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is because I wrote everything. It's all mine. It's my music with my friends and. Yeah, it's just my recording.
Well, that again, just gives you more products. You just got to get in front of people to sell it,
exactly.
And that's again where a good promoter, or maybe a bit of both, a good promoter and social media skills can allow you to, because again, don't forget you can promote everything online too.
Of course.
So when you actually do end up picking up these gigs, again, that's why coming back to what I said early on in regards to finding out your target audience, find out who you need to expose your music and your content to. Because once you do that, it's going to be a lot easier to get some good fans.
Can branch out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and you can. Like coming back to Spain and Greece, like you can go back and sort of identify those audience you have over there because they're real people, like they have actually bought into you and your product. So you have those people. What do they look like? Again, as I said before, like what are they like? How old are they? What do they do? What sort of interest have they? And then just clone that. So actually create this avatar of a person, of a Maurice Flavel fan. You know what I mean? And then you just copy all that. Like so you target a similar person online and say these guys are the ones that potentially would like my music, and then you put some money behind that. you try and get them to buy in, because again, like I noticed you had a Bandcamp, then redirect them there. Go over and check us out on Bandcamp, buy our album for $10, or you might have a t-shirt or a cap or something like that, and they can get that too, and there's
sweatband, headband.
Oh man, the sun is extreme in Greece and Spain, man. They need something to. They need some good headgear, man.
Pickled octopus. We could sell pickled octopus in a jar.
Yeah, anything, man. Get some olives or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's
we're good olives in Western Australia.
Yeah, man. They've got some pretty good wine too. They love their wine in Southern Europe, man. Put out intensive care. Red wine.
Wine. Yeah, well, AC/DC did that, and Kiss.
Everybody's doing it now. Everybody's doing their own alcohol label, whether it's beer or whiskey or gin or something. Yeah.
Maybe we could get some clean skins and rebrand.
That's it. Just white label the shit out of it. Bang. And you're in Western Australia, man. One of the most famous wine regions in the Southern Hemisphere, man. Just go down and get some
could be something there.
Some Margaret River clean skins. Just smack on a new label on it. Bang. Chris Symes, if you're listening, man, you better take some notes here, buddy.
Yeah. We're going into the
That's it.
And autographed chunks of iron ore.
All that too, man. Yeah. Just think about anything, really. It's just about being creative, man.
It's just about whoring yourself.
It is. But again, look, the whole reason why I'm saying this again is because if it is a dream to make it worthwhile, sustainable, you gotta have products.
Of course, you gotta have products.
And obviously, but you also gotta have fans to sell those products too.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
So that's, but look, I'd like to sort of go over and have a chat to just touch base on your shop. So you obviously have a record shop in Perth as well. Yeah. That again is another opportunity to sell some products, but we don't need to get into that.
Yeah. Exactly.
So how
noise pollution records?
Yeah. Tell me a bit about the shop.
It's in Evil Northbridge. Yeah, where everything happens. A second-hand record store. Been doing it 20 years.
Wow.
Only know music. Yeah. That's it. One-man show. Sell online. And it's just a little retail store. Grungy retail store.
Is it only vinyl?
Yeah. And some cassettes.
Oh, wicked.
T-shirts.
Are people still buying cassettes?
T-shirts. Yeah. It's if you read online, it's a new trend.
That is funny, man.
Cassettes.
That is so funny.
Yeah. And I sell on the net. I've been doing that just as long.
Wow.
But yeah, we specialise in old school. Young kids come in. It's old school, apparently.
Well, it's coming back, isn't it? The whole retro.
Yeah, it's all been the same level for me for a long time.
Yep.
Might have been because that's just what I was listening to was records, vinyl. So, yeah, it's all coming back. Everything old is new again.
Yeah, that's it. But it does, like, it does have a way different feel, to have a physical product, whether it is a vinyl or whether it's a CD, but it's more the fact, like, you have something you can touch and feel it, you can open up.
With, records, it's, 1 square foot artwork. And you can read the credits and see the front. You got it in your hand.
Yeah, true. Yeah, actually, I totally didn't think about that. Like the actual artwork, of course, would be way more detailed when you have a vinyl because, it's sort of blown up to be like 5-6 times the size of a CD.
Well, there's people, I collect records just for covers. I've got a huge collection of like records for covers, retro, I guess nostalgic photos and this thing called Bachelor Pad Cheesecake music. And it's very retro.
Yeah.
Bad covers, really bad records, but the photography's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Music doesn't matter.
So what gave you the idea to start this 20 years ago? Because that would have been about the same time you broke up with the other band, if I get the timeline correct.
Yeah, probably was, yeah. And I had to get money together somehow. I actually had to get a job. That's what it is. I bought my employment.
Right, okay.
No, I've been into records and music. It's been my madness since my earliest memories is music. So, I was talking 3 or 4 years old. So music's just been there. It's just, I don't know, it's something that's in your head to try and make an income from music and from what I know, selling records.
It's something you're passionate about.
Yeah, I'm passionate about it. I could easily give it away. I could easily give that away, but it's just something that I have to, so I can make an income. So I sell records and, learn as much as I can about vinyl and matrix numbers and catalogue numbers and pressings and all the bits of that.
This might be a rhetoric question, but is your album out on vinyl?
There we go. No,
it's not. It's not. Oh wow.
No. Well, it's been tough the last few years financially. So it costs you a lot of money to get records. They're not records made. People say, you can get it done reasonably cheap. With Australia and where they're getting manufactured, it's the shipping, it's the killer.
All right.
That really kills it. That adds the cost, like mega.
Can you get them drop shipped? Is that an option? Like to have them manufactured?
Not from No.
Right.
No. That's where you need record company help, Yeah, that's where you need record company help, really. That's the next level of. But yeah, I'd like to. I think that'll probably end up happening.
Yep.
We'll do some vinyl, with the EP maybe, and this album, do it all at once or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'll do it. Instead of spending money getting CDs manufactured, maybe it might be time for vinyl.
What about I'm just thinking out loud here, but like would it be a possibility to maybe do pre-sales or something if you already have a couple of fans that you can sort of retarget or reach out to? Would it be possible for some of them, like to put out like a little hook and see if there was anyone that was interested in getting a vinyl release? If there was, then get them to pay some money up front, and then use that money to put into production.
Yeah. I have asked a couple of people, and they've loved the album, but just said they haven't got the money at the moment to back it, or put it out.
How much is a vinyl to buy? Just out of curiosity, like how much is the retail price? Like if you were to sell it,
well, it'd have to be $40.
$40, okay.
40, yeah, $45, I guess.
So if a fan wants to buy a vinyl album, he would be looking at spending $45.
Yeah, that's what it is now. Yeah, these days. Yeah.
And what would the production be roughly?
In the production of the vinyl.
Both. So obviously, like, so you mentioned, so if the retail cost, like to buy as a fan, if that would be about sort of $40 to $45, then how much roughly would it cost for you to get them made?
I'm guessing. Yep. Because see, it's always with the shipping. You're not really sure about it because it's all changed. The price of shipping has changed so much. But I guess you're looking at. I'm thinking $28.
So make it 30 then. So then again, you just got to put that into a spreadsheet and see how many, because you need to have like a minimum order for that to be worthwhile to begin with.
Of course, you do.
And then you see, okay, so if I can pre-sale, throwing a number out here, 30, 40 albums, and then you can say, okay, so if I then order 50 or 100 or something, like what is your break even that leaves you with some sort of product after, you know what I mean? So say if it's a matter of you need to sell 60, and then if you can pre-sell 60, you might have say 30 left for you to then have as your little extra bonus. You can then like for you to break even, but you have them as product to sell moving forward or something like that. Then it's again, like, I have no idea how much stuff is, and again the shipping costs. I can understand why the shipping would be expensive, because again it's a big bulky item and you need lots of them to send. So that makes perfect sense to me. But it would be a very easy exercise to do, like to find out how many you need to sell in order to break even.
It is.
And then the question is just to put it out there, like is there a market? Does the fans want to buy an album for $40 or $45?
Yeah.
Just
for sure.
Just me thinking out loud. But
for sure.
But it would be awesome. It would be awesome for you to have it, especially when you got a vinyl store, man. Yeah, it would be wicked.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just haven't been myself financially because it costs us a lot of money to make the album.
And that's exactly why you can ask for pre-sales. So you can ask people to see like how many would want to buy it up front. So say if you get a lot of people, if you say everybody who buys on pre-sales get it for $40, and by the time pre-sales are done, it's 45. So you get 10% off, or you can sell it for cost price plus $5 or something like that. You know what I mean? But at least you have, least you're not running the financial risk. And you get it on vinyl.
And you get it on vinyl.
That's it.
Of course. We're still probably going to do it. It's just it's all going through the process. I guess we'll do some more recordings like we were talking about before, and maybe we'll get that done, and maybe get the LP pressed as well. Yep. Together.
Yep.
I want to do vinyl for sure. It's just, I'm not super financial at the moment.
Nope, and I get that. That's again another,
because we've spent a lot of money on the actual album, and I thought maybe that we may have got some distribution deal or something with some record company. I must have been kidding myself.
But
because I thought it was good enough.
That is, that's again a very
from what I've heard that some record companies put out, I thought this recording was good enough in comparison with what I've heard. But then it goes down to taste of the people that are in the record companies putting the music out.
Yeah, but that again is like it's another fun conversation to have, because
I used to work for a record company.
Did you?
I used to work for Australia's biggest record company. Yeah.
Oh wow!
It's like,
what did you do there? What was your title?
I worked in the distribute. I don't know what it was. A music Nazi, music bastard or whatever.
Nice.
Music smart ass. And I realised, I had to quit because I could have been working in a vegetable market selling vegetables, because music didn't really matter. It was the product that you promoted, not the music.
But that's again, but that is the record label's job. That is to make money. So unfortunately, that is the grim side of the industry.
This is what I used to say to them. The product that they were promoting to make money, another product could have done the same thing. But it goes down to taste of the people that are promoting the music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you're right.
Like when I was there was like all the countdown shit, pop bands. To me, they were just crap. But you had like the Triffids or Ed Cooper. Ed Cooper's put 16 or 18 albums out. But they would put them, and Longevity and the Triffids, fantastic, marvellous band. Or, Hunters and Collectors, they would put their money into 16-year-old girl bands that could be linked with the ABC and I don't know what it was.
That's again, it's the easy sell, it's the easy products too.
Because it was the people that were promoting that music, their actual taste. To me was shit. When they could have had really good bands doing the same thing.
But that is probably one of the best thing about being online these days is because you're not as reliant on a record label as you were 20 years ago, or however long social media platforms have been around, because they have, especially the last decade, have really changed the industry considerably. So being a record label now is a massive liability. It's a massive risk almost to actually take artists on board, because you are so reliant on say, for instance, like commercial radio, because that is again your mass appeal, and where you cannot get out if you're a little indie artist. But you don't need that anymore, because you have the internet. No. Like if you're really good at branding yourself, really good at creating.
Branding is the brand.
But that's all it is. Doesn't matter what industry you're in. Branding is key. Branding and product. And but that is, as you mentioned before, that is the record label's main task. That is to do just that. To brand and promote the bands so they can make money. So they, as in the record label, can make money.
Well, when people ask me about music and, what is the thing that you like to say to people about music, I always say to them, don't be influenced what you've been fed.
No.
Go out and branch out.
Yep.
Reach out. If you're into music, you're into music, from opera to Papua New Guinea. And
you can listen to anything.
Tribal music.
Whatever, yeah.
You can listen to any. But don't be, I get it in my shop. People say I'm rock. Not in my shop. Other people, outsiders, say to me, I'm right into music, And I say, what are you into? And they always say, into ABBA to Toto.
They're great options.
And it's like, wow. Okay, so that's the expanse of your musical knowledge.
That's me. That's me. I listen to everything. I reckon ABBA is.
But
ABBA is fantastic.
ABBA to Toto isn't everything.
Yeah, but look, I also listen to Metallica, I listen to Slayer, and I listen to Black Sabbath and stuff like that.
Of course.
So, but that's again the beautiful thing about music. There is just so many colors and nuances and genres and expressions, and and they all have a place. Some have a big audience than others, but they all have a place. And you don't need to be locked in to just one genre, or just again, like if you got to compare it to something else, like you don't need to be locked into just one religion. You know what I mean? Like you can worship all these different like the rock gods and like the electronic gods. Like, and I love Depeche Mode, for instance. Again, there's massive band as well. So it's okay to have all these different stuff.
Of course it is.
So it's.
You just got to delve deep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Mm.
So what do you sort of feel influenced by when you're writing?
Whatever's in my head, influenced by what's in my head, from what goes in, I think, from the bands I listen to, and my musician friends that are in my band. That's what I'm influenced by. What they say and like, and when I give them a song that we can all work on, that's what I'm really influenced by. Is musicians making music, you know? Because there's so much input into your head of music that when it's an output of writing songs and doing all that, it's with the people that are creating it, That's what I'm influenced by new sounds and all types of music, not just rock music.
So are you creating the music with Peter and some of the other guys, or do you come up with the ideas and take it to the boys?
I have from that album. I think 95% of that is the root chords of the songs. The music is from me, and I bring it to the band, and Peter interprets it, and Stefan, and then we all put it together. But now it's more the band, us jamming out music and then trying to fit in with the words, singing melodies.
Yep.
That's what we're doing at the moment. So it's the music of the band, and then I'm singing with the band, or we're trying to make this sound. Whereas before it's been my music and my lyrics. It's now my lyrics with their music, which we're doing at the moment.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So
and it's a different thing.
It is, yeah. And there's so many different ways of creating music or creating songs as well. I like the fact you're sort of saying like you write about whatever's in your head. That's again, you know, sort of very sort of spare of the moment kind of thing. So is that can that be emotions, or can that be, for instance, like I suppose a really obvious topic at the moment would be like the whole situation around the world. Is it something like that you're looking at, or is it more like emotions that you're writing about?
It's more sounds with a voice in your head.
Cool.
That you're suddenly singing some melody that, you know, you think that that's some song that you know, when it's you making that up. So it's the voice of melody in your head. That's what you hear and play and write. That's what I get melodies.
Yep.
Staying in my head for weeks and weeks, sometimes years.
Wow.
And try and interpret what that's, I don't know, it's all that, not channeling, but Jimi Hendrix and all those people spoke about, you know, Neil Young goes, it's all one song, man. It's just what comes into your head. If you're a real creative musician, like the guys in my band are, they can interpret that.
Yep.
You know, I don't know what, sometimes I hum melodies and I don't know what key or none of that stuff, but there's still music.
So do you just have the melodies, or do you have an idea of lyrics as well, or sort of like what sort of emotion this song is going to evolve into?
Sometimes it's, you know, it's a melody and then words suddenly fit into that. Or it can be words and then you try and, because words have melody of their own. So you try and, so just by singing the words, there's melody. So, you know, then you can take that I can take that to the band guys and they can interpret that melody by just hearing it. And they interpret it musically.
Yep.
Well, I'm doing it some voice thing.
And then but then like lyrics come before or after?
And the lyrics come with it.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes, you know, you look at lyric but the lyric ends up being a melody.
Yep.
Just by singing it, you can find a melody. Or you hear a sound.
Oh, wow.
You know, a sound. Looping sound. When you're trying to write or whatever, it's like it loops round and round. A melody just, you know, I'm writing a new song at the moment. It's, you know, melody. You know, I don't know how many hours I've had it in my head for. You know, trying to work out what that is and words with that.
Yep.
And, you know, I suddenly had this melody in my head, and then I put the words to it, and that fitted. It's hard to explain.
But
it's just this another voice in your head.
It is. Look, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like a lot of like sometimes when I'm writing songs, it's the same thing. Like you have either like it can be this hook line, or it can be a melody. Then I'm guessing you'd probably be the same. Like you pick up like your phone and you just write something down, or you hum into your phone or something.
Phone, no.
Oh, you don't do that?
I'm not digital. I want to do that. Take records that I'm giving on the phone.
Right.
No, I just keep because it's good to have with your phone, right? Like you say, you've got it written down. But with strong melodies, they stay in your head anyway.
They do, yeah.
and it just keeps looping. So you can, where I think with a phone or recording, you've put that down, but that's not what it is.
Oh, it sounds horrible. But at least it's banked. At least it is something you can come back to, you know. So
exactly.
So it's like,
that's a great thing.
It's the same as like sometimes, you know, you can have this awesome dream and you wake up in the morning and you go like, oh man, I forgot about it. You know, it's kind of the same thing. It just allows you to sort of conceptualize it, and just have it so it's banked, so you can go back to it one day. But now, I at the same time, I also completely understand what you mean. If you have this really cool melody, something that is super catchy, it's the same as if you hear a song somewhere on the radio, on your playlist or something, and you go like, wow. Then sometimes this chorus just out of the blue can just reappear a couple of days later. You go like, man, what's that? Yeah. For good and bad. For good and bad. It can be a really shit song too, and you go like, damn it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it took me. I just wanted to go.
Exactly.
Away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, but just with the phone thing again too, I always find it's when you're driving that a lot of the songs come. You work out songs, or I think it's because you're in your own space in your car.
Yep.
And it's difficult then to, you know, I don't know how many times I've pulled up and written something, or driving along even and trying to write something, and you can hardly read what you've written. And it always seems to be at like not the worst time, but the most, I don't know what the word is, the hardest time to write is the hardest time to write.
Oh,
you know, you can't put it down.
Definitely a hard time to write. But yeah, definitely a hard time when you're
writing.
When
you're out with a family or you're doing something, I don't know. Yeah. So you got to be able to grab something. And years ago, I used to walk around with a notebook all the time. You know,
I've heard a lot of creative people do that. I have a note. I have a notebook on the bedside table. So if they do wake up in the middle of the night, you know, I've spoken to quite a few people that have that as well. Yeah. You know, so when you wake up, you can quickly just write something down and you can go back to sleep. You know, the whole thing about having that dream.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. I have my phone again. I'm guilty of that. So.
Yeah, up next to your bed. Well, I read an interview years ago about Jeff Beck used to lay on his bed and like sleep with his guitar, and he'd wake up like, you know, in your heavy sleep hour, and he said he'd wake up playing guitar with some melody.
Wow, that sounds tripping.
Yeah, but he would sometimes go to sleep and then press record on a little recorder, and he'd be like semi-conscious or whatever and sleep and like wake up in that state and play some guitar and wake up in the morning.
That's mental.
Oh, wow. Did I play that? Did I write that? And I think Jimi Hendrix was the same too.
Wow.
Slept with the guitar and, you know, not all the time, I guess, but slept with the guitar. And have you ever tried that? Been on your bed?
I was about to say it wouldn't work very well for me. I'm a drummer, so.
Take your drum pad.
Yeah. But no, that's crazy. I didn't know that about those guys.
Yeah.
Falling asleep with the guitar. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I've done that a few times, but it's I don't know, from what I've done when I've ever done that, is interesting, slow guitar playing.
Yeah.
It's a different state of mind and
you would
feeling you're so tired.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, you're not going to wake up and write a punk song or something. It's going to be something pretty slow paced, man. A little slow waltz or something.
Andre Roux.
Yeah. So what are you listening to yourself? Like if you were to go to your record store, put some music on, or when you're driving and stuff, like what bands would you listen to?
All right, when I'm driving, a lot of the times I listen to classical music.
Oh wow!
But a lot of the times I'm driving now, because my job's dealing with the public all the time and digital format and like busy life.
Yep.
I actually don't have anything on in my car. But in the shop at the moment, I'm listening to a compilation album on the Harvest label of all these like psych bands. On these bands like Edgar Broughton Band, Sid Barrett's early stuff. There's some Jethro Tull on there. Harvest label's fantastic, and Michael Chapman, I think, who became a songwriter for Susie Quattro and all, Smokey and all those, and wrote some other hits as well. Yeah. His album, compilation album, and Jethro Tull. But also I listened to Public Enemy's album.
It's a very different genre.
I love Chuck D. He's one of the great songwriters. Yep. I love Public Enemy. They're just fantastic. And what else is on that? Ray Charles.
Oh, wow. That's a very different genre
Ray
again.
Charles. Yeah, this is just what I'm listening to.
Yeah, wicked. I like it.
And for some, and yesterday I put on The Planets. Faust, The Planets. Had to listen to that yesterday. And what else?
So very diverse.
Yeah, in the shop it's not as diverse as what my actual collection or what I listen to is. But, that's just in the shop stuff. But yeah, Public Enemy records worn out.
So is there any of the more sort of recent acts and more sort of current acts, is there any of those bands that you'd listen to?
Yeah, I listen to like say Goldfrapp or Portishead.
Okay.
I listen to a fair bit of new music as well. All sorts of real. I don't know. Is Tupac new? I don't know. To me, it is.
Probably not as relevant, but absolutely, like again a big, very very big legend as well.
Tyler the Creator, there's some new stuff.
Oh yeah.
Hip hop, yeah.
So you're into hip hop. That's cool.
Yeah, I love hip hop. Yeah, it's new black music, so they're pioneers of music, really. It's what I like. So,
but it's again sort of like, but again it sort of reaffirms the whole thing we talk about. When people come in and say they listen to everything from ABBA to Toto, like. Yeah. You're the same. Like if you listen to Public Enemy and Jethro Tull and all that stuff, that's again.
But I also listen to 1895 throat singers from India.
Oh wow!
And stuff like that. That's all 15th century carols, piano carols. All sorts, or chain gang.
That's very niche.
1950s chain gang or synthesizer, all that. It's all out there to consume. Yeah. That's what being into music's about for me. Beyond Toto.
Yeah.
beyond Hall and Oates.
Well, it's crazy because like all music it comes from the same notes, which is a fascinating thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it
got the same.
That's what's interesting is that there's so much music out of the 5 notes or whatever it is.
12, I think it is. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Pete knows. He's a music teacher. Yeah. He knows all that.
Yeah, you got your 7 flats and your 5 majors, or the other way around, or something like that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, but again, bottom line remains, they're the 12 notes you have to play with, and then how you put them together, and how you mix and match them, and what sort of effects you put on top, and what sort of orchestration you use to make those sounds is very individual.
It's amazing.
It is, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then again, you have the other instrument, the voice. You put that on top as well, and then all of a sudden you've got this. Sound. Yeah, you've got these very very different expressions and genres.
And there's no barriers with language or
no. That's
listening.
That's again a very very cool observation.
Someone can sing in. I don't know. I heard like an Ethiopian Motorhead sort of death metal band last year, and I was like, I was just totally captivated by it. I hadn't heard anything like it, but it was in another language. Like some of the death metal sounds like it's in another language, but it's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's like I think one of the first bands that I heard that came out that was singing in different languages was Rammstein. They've also been around for they've been around for a long time now, and they're singing German. But like recently, a couple of I've come across like two New Zealand bands. There's a band called Shepherd's Rain that are singing Samoan. And you got another band called Alien Weaponry, which is just a bunch of young kids who sing in Maui. But again, both are doing an absolute, like, ridiculously good job and like really, really good sound, and sort of being very true to their to their roots and culture and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'd love to hear about that Ethiopian band if you could drop that to me after the show.
I didn't know their name. I've been searching for it since I heard on the radio. I
have to Google it.
Driving along in a car, couldn't stop, no opportunity to hear it written down, and then, forgot.
Yeah.
Like driving along. I remember the name of that band, and, 15 minutes later, completely forgotten who it was.
Oh, no.
Driving,
it's
always.
Well, that's You can't. As I said, you can't just stop and write it down. You can't touch your phone. You're gonna get smacked. You're gonna
get. So I've been searching for a long time for that band, but I was in Cambodia a few years ago, and they had some awesome music, and Vietnam's dance music. That's partly mixed, like Vietnamese singing with dance. With drum and bass.
Wouldn't that be part of all the whole, pop Asia pop, whatever it's called, K-pop and all stuff? Is it
nothing?
It's nothing like that.
No. Okay. Like Chemical Brothers.
Oh, wicked.
Vietnam, or drum and bass, but Vietnam or Cambodian, like this band Cambodian Space Project. Oh, wicked. Yeah.
Nice, man.
They were like Parliament sort of.
Chemical Brothers are wicked.
Garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they had something with a bit of Vietnamese on top, that would be a good mix.
Yeah, well, that's what they had that. Like their dance and drum and bass, and they some of it was what I heard was like traditional, like sound like traditional instruments. Do you know that song by The Grit? Swamp Thing?
No, I don't think so.
It's got it's banjo drum. It's got banjo as the lead melody with drum and bass. Swamp Thing.
I've got it.
And it's dance by The Grit.
The Grit.
Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing.
Yeah. I think it's THANG. Swamp Thing. And that's just it's. Banjo is the main thing with drum and bass. Wicked.
Yeah, awesome. I really enjoy when sort of people try and put something like sort of mix and match two genres that are so different, like drum and bass and banjo, for instance. That sounds something that could either be super awesome or incredibly chaotic.
Pete and myself have been listening. There was this. My friend used to. My old drummer, for a few years, used to walk into JB Hi-Fi with, I don't know, I'm just guessing, $80 or $100 and just randomly pick CDs, just walk in and grab whatever. And I reckon 9 out of 10 CDs he gave to me and said, it's just crap. And then this band, Morpheus Androgynous, and they mix. They're like Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, traditional Indian, I don't know what it is, drum and bass, the same thing, a complete mixture of a new sound again.
That's a lot of different genres to sort of.
Oh, they play it real well.
Mash up.
They play it. Yeah, the playing's phenomenal. Yeah, it was new music when I heard that stuff. Yeah.
Well, you must come across a lot of different music, sort of being like owning a record shop.
I do. Yeah. I do. Yeah. I've got records that I've had for 20 or 30 years that I still haven't got around listening to.
Really? Wow.
I've had them all that time, and then just think one day I'm going to pull that out and put it on the turntable and just know, yeah, that's something new that I'm now going to be inspired by.
Yeah.
For that period of time, because I haven't heard it repeatedly and put it back. It's something like, hey, there's something new.
Yep.
To listen to,
So you do have albums as well that are inspiring you to write songs as well. So it's not just like as you mentioned earlier, it's not just like stuff in your head. Like you have influences as well. So something you are.
Yeah. For sure. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, at the moment, influenced by like new sounds or older artists with new sounds. There's a new sound.
A couple of examples?
Which is beats and stuff. Or even like I saw Robert Plant, a few years ago. Pete got me a ticket and saw him. It's just like phenomenal. It's Led Zeppelin with beats and Eastern mixture and, just a whole, with older style, R.L. Burnside.
Yep.
Old blues dudes with hip hop beats, changing the face of blues. That's new style music. Old blues dudes with scratching in it.
Yeah.
It's like wicked. I like that old mix and new. And that's, I like some of those artists that have old sounds, old ways of songwriting.
Yep.
And then they put underneath, they put up new, put beats and stuff. It's just awesome. Yeah.
Is that something you'd consider doing for some of your songs?
I'd love to do it, but it'd be great. Yeah, you need a producer that you can sort of do that with. As well, which is another thing altogether.
But I suppose again, it would probably also come down to whether it is something that would sort of still be somewhat resembling to your style and to your songs and to the emotions you are expressing in the songs. But at the same time, it's your songs again. There's no label that's gonna stand there and tell you what you can and can't do. So as long as it feels right.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. As long as it's true.
Awesome.
That's true.
Look, I've got this thing I ask pretty much everybody on this show. That is whether you have any sort of through your long career and your many decades in the industry, is there any sort of good tips or good advice, anything that you could sort of give to people listening, or something that you say, something that has worked for you that you could say you want to pass on, or anything?
I don't know whether I'm the one to give advice.
Well, it could be anything. It could be good experience or something like that. You can say this. Yeah.
I think just keep writing, be true to yourself, and keep playing. Just keep writing and practicing.
Yep.
I think don't be a rock star first and then do your music. Do your music, then become a rock star if that's what you want. But you can be a star and have 3,000 likes and have 20 people turn up to your gigs.
100%. That's again, but like, what defines a rock star? That's again a good little conversation, because
I'm not going to go there. I've met too many rock stars.
But that look like I call my wife a rock star because she's awesome. She's looking after.
She's a rock star.
Because like she's looking after the kids. She's making sure that the house is tidy and stuff, and she's
That's
and
nice.
she's keeping up with all my bullshit. So again, like, so to me,
she's
a rock star. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
But that again, but it comes down to the definition you put into it. So again, and then you can talk to other people about rock star. Oh, it's someone who's got like long hair and lots of tattoos and leather jackets and stuff. So that's a prototype.
And your ego's that big.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to be. A rock star can also be someone who's just an awesome person. Someone who's just someone who's just nice. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, you're such a rock star. You're such a
that's a good saying.
You're such a star. Like you're such a legend. You're such a rock star. You know what I mean?
That's stars, bro.
Yeah.
I think there's more emotion. You're a star.
And you just happen to be a rock star.
A rock star.
Yeah.
Solid rock star.
Yeah. But anyway, look, I know what you mean at the same time. Like if you are sort of talking about the cliche version of, rock star, someone like I always think about, Axl Rose back in the heyday when he was such a douche and always rocked up, an hour too late to go on stage rock and all that stuff. It's like, man, come on, really? But I suppose at the same time, that was just a part of that era. Everybody, all the big bands was just too full of themselves.
But they can be if they sold 20 million records.
Yeah, but again, like, does that mean you're entitled to be a dickhead? You know what I mean? Like, but it is what it is. But it's so funny. It's actually really funny this day and age. Everybody's always on time. Every time there's a gig, you got show times. Yeah. You can be you can go on stage 5-10 minutes late, but you don't see those guys that, we're gonna, rock up, an hour and a half later and everybody's pissed off, but we don't give a shit. We're still just gonna go on stage. You don't see that anymore.
Yeah. Oh, we had that a couple of years ago.
Oh, really?
We were headlining. Did well, we peaked. And the other band, they were 20 minutes over, and it was all one guitar solo still.
Nice.
And Pete was telling them, I want them to get off stage. Pete was telling them, get off, and they kept playing. It was guitar rock. So,
okay, so it's more like a local scene or something?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Because they didn't realise Jimi Hendrix had died yet. So
because when you do go on to like when you go to see, like if you go to Perth Arena, or you go to like some of the bigger bands that are touring, it's all on schedules now. So they actually all sort of perform on time and stuff, which is
that because the what is it? 90% of top 40 are over 50 years old, so they need to be in bed by
I don't know. I think it might just be, the times we're in. Everybody's time is precious, even the audience, and you just gotta perform, deliver, and go to the hotel room
and
go home, sleep in the back of the van or whatever you're doing. So, awesome, man. Look, let's try and wrap it up here. I've got another thing as well. Like, if you do want to, if you've got a couple of people, if they want to go out and sort of find a bit more about you, where should they go? Is there a main page? Is it Facebook, Instagram? Is there a main platform that people should head over to?
It's Facebook as always. Yep. Yeah, we have a page on Facebook, Maurice Flavel's Intensive Care, or there.
So that's the best one. So to get up to date on stuff that's happening. And
exactly.
Yep.
Thank you, Chris.
And actually, just on that note, how did Intensive Care? How did that name come up? Where does that stem from?
I don't remember, to be honest. Don't know.
Right.
Not sure. It's a name. It's difficult getting band names. I don't know. We all care, and it's intense.
Oh, okay. So it's really intense care. Like, we really care. Yeah, good.
Yeah, we care.
Yeah, wicked. We
just care.
Yeah, wicked. I like it. No, it's a good name. It's something that again, it stands out. Like, it's not the commitment. So the something else.
No. So some people say it's not good. I don't know.
It's well again, it's something you remember. I reckon it stands. Look, I've had this chat with Chris as well. Like he brought it up as well. And I said, look, it's something that is not like it's not like the whole prototype of what you usually have. Like you have the artist and then the backing band. So usually the backing band is called something, like the band or the something. So I look. I like it. It's obviously it's a very long name. It's Maurice Flavel Intensive Care. But
I like long names for bands.
Yeah. Well, you got it. So that's good.
I don't know.
Fantastic, Maurice. Look, it's been a pleasure. I really enjoyed chatting.
It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks for the opportunity.
No, it was a pleasure, and shout out to Chris for hooking us up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'll get him to take me and show me the shop one day, so I can come and see the
cool.
The Northbridge.
I might be moving, but that's all good.
Yeah. All good, man.
Maybe. All good. But I'm going to give Chris some back catalogue music of my stuff, so I'll get him to give some to you as well.
Fantastic. No,
have a listen to some.
I'd love to hear some more about it for sure.
Cool.
All the best, Maurice. I'm looking forward to following the process, and hopefully,
thank you, Steve.
Hopefully we can get you over to Europe sometime in the near future once all this COVID crap is over.
Sounds good. We just got to get product.
That's it. Product and brand and marketing
and marketing. Yeah.
Fantastic, man.
All good.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Maurice. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Take care.
You too.
Awesome.
Bye.
Thank you.
thanks so much for tuning in or listening along to the show. If you like the show, please don't forget to leave a 5-star review and subscribe to my social channels. It doesn't cost you anything, but it greatly helps me to build my networks and my chances of getting sponsors to keep this show running. If you want to take it to the next level, please head over to patreon.com/Stephen Helhammer and become a patron by joining the exclusive community there. You can start from as little as $3 per month. And for just a little extra, you get access to some fantastic features, outtakes, behind the scenes stuff, and much, much more. That's less than the cost of a cup of coffee per month. And that way you can help me build better content. I can devote more time to find awesome guests and just generally just keep everything flowing. If you want to be on the show or subscribe to my mailing list, send an email to steven@helhammer.com, and that is HELhammer.com. That way I can start sending you exclusive invites, random stuff, and messages that, who knows, you might enjoy. So that's it. Have a rocking day ahead, guys, and I will see you on the live stream or in your headphones very soon. Take it easy.